Welcome to the BSE shop training video. Today you will be shown how to operate the bent and bender press brake and bent and bender power shear. If your project involves cutting, bending, or shaping sheet metal, you will need to understand how to safely and correctly operate these machines. Never operate any machinery without proper experience or supervision. Ensure all surfaces are clean and free of any debris or dirt before beginning operation of the machine. Never clean away debris or dirt using an air hose. Never attempt to bend any material requiring any more than the maximum allowable pressure of 2500 psi. In case of an emergency or any general issues, stop the machine immediately and notify a shop manager or supervisor. It is crucial that you absolutely do not touch or adjust any switches or settings that are not covered in this instructional video. Among these are the micro switches located on each side of the ram, which are used to calibrate the upper ram and should not be adjusted for any reason. Adjusting these could compromise the bending process and also result in damage of the machine. The bent and bender press brake bends a workpiece at a desired angle by clamping the material between a male punch die and a female die opening. The female die is a stationary piece that is mounted to the work table, which contains a cutout of a predetermined width and angle. The male die is mounted on a movable beam which lowers and comes in contact with the material until it is pressed to form the desired shape or angle. Turn on the press brake by pulling out the red start-stop switch in the middle of the left-hand side of the control panel. Press the green start button in the top left-hand corner of the panel to start the machine. For manual operation use, ensure that the lower left-hand switch is set to jog, and press the up and down button to raise and lower the ram. Adjust the edge to bend distance using the hand wheel found on the front of the machine. The numbers on the readout correspond to the distance at which the bend will occur. All female dies are 2.75 inches edge to edge and 1.375 inches from edge to center. The readout on the front hand wheel should be the combined value of the distance which the bend should occur plus 1.375 inches from the edge to center of the die. The hand wheel and orange analog readout on the right side of the machine above the control panel are used to adjust the degrees of bend. The number on the orange analog readout corresponds to the depth at which the male punch die will depress into the female die opening. Refer to the tonnage chart on the back right side of the machine to determine which size die opening should be used in accordance with the gauge of the metal being bent. When adjusting the hand wheel on the right side of the machine, the orange analog readout should be at a low value. It's always safer to underbend than it is to overbend. To make the bend, securely hold the workpiece in place and press and hold the down button on the middle right hand side of the control panel to lower the ram. When you have successfully made your bend, press and hold the up button on the lower right hand side of the control panel to raise the ram while continuing to hold the workpiece securely. When changing a die, attach the hanging plates to each side of the male punch die. To change the die, lift the ram a short distance until the bottom notch in each hanging plate slides into place. Move the ram in the upward position until the female die has been suspended over the workbench. Carefully rotate the female die so that the desired width opening is facing in the upward direction. If the desired die opening is not present on the four-sided die which is currently in place, consult a shop manager or supervisor for assistance in changing the die. Slowly lower the ram once again and carefully guide the female die back into place on the workbench. Remove the hanging clamps and proceed with your bend. The bent and bender power shear is a machine tool that is used to cut plate and sheet metal. The material to be sheared is held in place on the work table while a moving blade comes down at a predetermined angle and shears the workpiece. Turn the machine on by turning the main power switch above the control panel to the on position. Start the machine by pulling the red upper left button outwards. Adjust the back gauge by turning and holding the lower right-hand switch to the reverse and forward directions to move the back gauge back and forth. The analog readout on the top of the rake corresponds to the distance from the edge of the material to the cut, which will be made in inches. Adjust the rake to the appropriate gauge by turning and holding the upper right-hand switch to the up or down position. Adjusting the rake will either increase or decrease the angle at which the blade comes in contact with the workpiece. Thicker gauge metal should be sheared at a larger angle to avoid damaging the machine and also to prevent curling and other deformities in the workpiece. The workpiece should be placed on the table at the desired position so that it is in line with the hold downs, which hold the material in place while it is being sheared. You can further inspect the placement of the workpiece by looking down through the top of the machine between the rake and front guard to help ensure a more accurate cut. This is especially helpful when trying to make a diagonal cut. Once the workpiece is in the desired location, press and hold the lower left-hand button to shear the material. Once the blade has completely sheared the workpiece, release the lower left-hand button and allow the blade to return to the uppermost position and inspect the cut. When operation is complete, always make sure the machine is off and clean of leftover debris and foreign materials.